Hola, hoy yo voy a cocinar guacamole. Yo voy a cocinar guacamole con avocados, cebollas, jalapeños, sal, polvo de ajo, tomates, cilantro y un poco de jugo de limón. Comenzamos por poner los ingredientes a la congelador por 10 minutos. No poner los avocados y limón en la congelador. I'm putting them in the freezer because to make authentic guacamole, you need to pound it in a mortar or pestle or a molcajete, but I don't have either. So another way to do that is to freeze them for 10 minutes, and this kind of ruptures the cells and makes it easier for us to pound and make it more fine and get the juices out to make more authentic guacamole. Preferably you would have a molcajete, but I don't. So I'm just gonna freeze my cilantro and my cebolla for 10 minutos. My jalapeno too. And I'll be back. So now we're back. The 10 minutes has passed, and let's get started. So, what they say, un cuchillo agudo es un cuchillo seguro. A sharp knife is a safe knife. So, I'd like to make sure my knife is always agudo. So, I'm gonna make it sharp. Estoy cortando los cilantro. You want to get rid of the stems. So I'm gonna do that. So guacamole stands for pounded avocado, approximately in Aztec. I'm doing this part in English because my vocabulary in Spanish is not going to cut this part. It's basically stands for pounded guacamole, pounded avocado, or avocado sauce in Aztecs. And it was the Aztecs that made this. Let me go get a bowl. It may be a bit too grande, so we'll see. Which is why I froze these, to make more authentic guacamole. So that is that. I think maybe a little bit more cilantro wouldn't go wrong. Agrega más cilantro. Yeah, so you want to chop up cortando la cilantro un poco. Estoy cortando la cebolla. And I'm gonna do this the French way, which is you lay it on its side, and you don't cut it completely like I just did there. You cut it more so all the way, not all the way to the end, so it stays together. And I'm doing a really bad job at this, but anyway. And then you cut through the middle. Almost cut myself there. You need to be careful. And you just cortando like this, and it gets easily all diced up. Let me put this to the side so you can see. I'm using cebollas rojas porque es muy delicioso. You can make it a bit finer if you want. I'm gonna add that in. Agregar la cebolla. Alright, I'm gonna have to clean this place. So, yo uso chiles. No, not no. Jalapenos. Recipe traditionally uses chiles, but green chilies. But I don't have that, so I'll just go with what I have, which is jalapenos. It works pretty fine, but you need to add a bit more to get the spice. I'm gonna chop that a bit. Yo cortando la... estoy cortando la jalapeno. And put that in. Estoy a probar las ingredientes por sal. Yeah, this is gonna help bring out all the flavors from inside my ingredientes, and it's really gonna help make a nice traditional guacamole. I actually do prefer my guacamole kind of chunky, a little bit more, you know, you got the crunch with the cebollas, but for this one I'm going a bit more traditional. I'm gonna make sure all the ingredients are nicely squashed. Yeah. Guacamole is you know, a Mexican dish, and was first made by the Aztecs as a simple guacamole sauce, which just included guacamole. But the Aztecs soon after added chiles, salt, and tomatoes to it. But when the Spanish and British arrived, they were very interested in guacamole and avocados, and they added their own ingredients that were only available to them, to this, like lime. I don't have lime, so I'm using lemon here. Lime and garlic and a whole bunch of other ingredients, and they really added a bunch of ingredients to the to guacamole, and that's how the guacamole we know right now is made. It's a mix of Aztec and Spanish culture, and this is how we have this delicious Mexican dip that's enjoyed by all throughout the world. Yeah, this is good enough. So the reason both the Aztecs and the colonists were very interested in this dish is because of the avocados. Estoy cortando la avocado la mitad. So the reason they were you know, interested in guacamole and the avocados is because avocados are they're basically a condensed source of protein. They have a lot of protein in them, and they've got a lot of good fats, which was really useful to both the Aztecs and the colonists. So for the Aztecs, this dish was actually originally used as a power snack to aid them in their work, and kind of help them and stay energized throughout the work. I'm gonna take out the seed here, if it would let me. Seed's quite stuck in there. There you go. So yeah, that's that. Cortar más ingredientes. Yeah, so I had a little bit more avocado than I thought I'd have, so I'm just gonna cut a bit more of my ingredients. I'm again using the French method. Which is actually pretty easy once you do it a couple times. Pick this up. Now let's chop a little bit more of this. And cortar un pequeño más la cilantro. Yeah, I'm not that picky about the stems. I don't really care that much since it's gonna get all mashed up anyway. So you can take off the stems if you want, but you don't really have to be that picky about it. And I'm gonna get in the middle. Now, these avocados, we usually have avocados, but the ones we had weren't quite ripe yet. So I'm having to do store-bought, and at first I thought they were ripe because they were soft, but on the inside they were super hard. So we're gonna have a fun time here. Yo cortando un limón, agregar la jugo de limón, now that we've got it all pounded up, we can add, you can agregar las polvo de ajo, un pequeño, well, garlic isn't traditionally in traditional guacamole, but it just makes it taste really good, and I think some extra salt would be good. I'm gonna finish that up, and it'll be ready to eat. Comemos. Comer la guacamole por la chips de la tortilla. And it's pretty good. I think we could use some extra lemon juice, so I'm gonna add that in. We're gonna get that pounded up. Everything else, I think, is perfect. I'm gonna put that on the side. Yeah, and one interesting fact about the chips tortilla is that from what I know, I'm not sure if this is true, I think it is, but don't take my word for it, is that until very recently these didn't exist. They were invented back 100 years ago, about, when in Disneyland, the owner of one of the taco shops in Disneyland saw the workers throwing out stale tortillas after the day, and he saw that they were losing money because of that, so he told them to cut them up and fry them, and they were a big hit in Disneyland as all the tourists would come and eat some. And that's how the tortilla chip was made, and it's been a great pairing with guacamole, even though it's not traditional. Es muy delicioso.